Hey everybody, welcome to Reaper Toolbox Live. I don't even know how many of you there are because Justin only just got the chat set up for me. So if you're out there, say hi. Please, I'm lonely. I need people. There we go. There's all my friends. Yay! Never paint alone. Always paint with friends. Super. I'm glad to see you guys. Thank you. Yes, I know. The holiday attacked and then I was like in the Bahamas. Yeah, that was nice. But I haven't painted forever, so I really want to get back to it. So today, on Reaper Toolbox Live, we are once again trying to get finished with Julie Guthrie's Dance of Death, one dragon. Almost done, planning to get this dragon done by the end of the month so we can start the other dragon in January for the new year. So that's our New Year's resolution, right? Start new dragon, finish old dragon, start new dragon. Sound good to you, Justin?
Yes.
All right. Yes. Oh, wow. There's all of you. Look. Hello, everybody. Yay. I'm so happy to see you. That's awesome. Okay. Who made the reindeer cat? Like, that's an awesome emote thing. Painting the Cthulhu you won from us. Awesome, Max Powers. It is Anne Taslanish. Yes, I am back. I am back. So, super.
Do you want to tell the people what the sub goal today is?
What is our actual goal? Like, is it 25 or is it 20?
It's 20.
20. So we need what's that light bar we use? Actually, this is brand new, Baz the Brit. Brand new that Justin has found for us that actually apparently is a really, really nice camera setup and light bar together. I just dropped my brush. This is a normal thing for me. I don't think I've ever done it on stream before, though. Usually it's a later at night thing. So it's up to Justin if he wants to give away our evil tech secrets. We might wait a bit and see if it really works because it's an experiment. But anyway, if we get 20 subs today during stream, because this is the new thing, right? We have to get a goal and then we start giveaways. So 20 subs, and what we're doing is, actually, people from my Patreon will know this because I did this, I gave them this triad last month for our content. I made up a new triad for skin, and it looks really good on women. It's a really rosy tone. It starts, actually, the mid-tone is rosy skin, but instead of using the normal triad, you use bright skin shadow for your shadow on the rosy skin, and you use the new holiday color peppermint white, which is a pinkish white, to mix highlights. And it is a fantastic, like, just really lively, rosy, great female skin color. So we're going to give away that triad today after we get 20 subs. We'll start doing giveaways. It'll be rosy skin, bright skin shadow, and peppermint white. So yeah, Subtrain. Yep, Planar Crossroads has got it.
And basically the goal at the bottom, I'm still trying to get this it's about to get some curse words.
Oh no.
It doesn't like to count resubs or primes, or it's really finicky, and I don't know why.
It only wants like subs that actually give Twitch more money. What?
I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds like Twitch. Oh, I'm sorry, Twitch, didn't mean it.
Yeah. No, we're trying to go for partner. You can't say that. You can't say
yeah. Shh. We have to be nice to Twitch.
Yes, we do. But I am keeping a manual track at the same time. So
D. Clearman, is the bowling shirt a new thing? Actually, I'm always cold, like perennially cold. And it is really cold down in Texas right now, so I am wearing layers. So I actually have my real Reaper shirt on underneath, but I needed a snuggle thing, and I don't want to wear flannel on camera. So since I had this thing, this is the old Reaper Paint Crew shirt.
Careful
we did them years ago, huh?
Careful with your mic there.
Oh, oops.
It's doing all kinds of crazy stuff for me.
Oh no,
they can hear it too.
Sorry, Mike. Anyway, I have to stop fidgeting so much, apparently. The mic was offended. But yeah, so we had these made ages ago, years. I don't even remember how many years ago. And they're nice, but I like the polos a little bit better. They're just a little bit cold to just wear that. All right, let's see here. Finally feels like Christmas. Yeah, it does, doesn't it, Everlina? Ugh. Really cold in Texas is not even close to my home state of Wisconsin, Keldor. Really cold in Texas means below freezing. I know that really cold in Wisconsin means -30 with no wind chill. So, and I lived through some of that. So, you know, I get it. I'm special now. I live in Texas and I can complain about the cold when it gets to 32 degrees. All right, cool. So let's see. Many people painting kobolds and things, skeletons. Skeletons. All right, same with Northern Illinois. Yeah, same Neurocog.
Yeah, I don't even think it's lower than 40 today, but it is kind
It
of
was in the morning. When I took Kiri out this morning, it was 31 degrees, thank you.
Was it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's what my phone said, and, you know, I believe the Apple Empire. All right, let's see here. We're doing wings. It's wing day. That's like leg day, only it's not. Oh, you live in Wisconsin currently, so you know, Keldor. It is burning hot in Australia. Yeah, you guys have the inverted seasons. All right. So what we're doing is we're going to try to get this darn dragon done so that I can, yeah, look, it's wing day. Wing day. And look, with the new camera setup, we can actually have both wings in focus. How's that? And look, you can see my palette even, crazily. Yeah, you can even see my paint consistency a little bit. Okay, so this will rock. This will mostly do it. So I'm going to actually keep dragon mostly out of frame over text here, because mostly he's there so that I can reference him and make sure that I match him. Yay, wings. All right. And let me see here. Just making sure you guys don't have any painting things. Do remember to be careful with your paint if you're traveling and when it's really cold out. If paint freezes solid, it is ruined. It will make the resins drop out of solution and permanently. It will not be able to fix. It is seeming to lag. Thanks, Max Powers. That's good to know. Hello, hello, Forever Night. All right, so I'm going to use a bigger brush because I'm going to be doing a big, wide wet blend here on all of this wing to try to get it laid in fast. And I'm using a Reaper brush, everybody. Ooh, there it is. So the Reaper Flat 4. And the reason for this is if you want to do wet blending, you want to use a big brush if you're working on a big surface. It also, since this is a flat surface, a flat brush works really well to get a nice solid brush stroke. And so it enables you to cover lots of territory and also to blend lots of territory quickly. I saw your question, GM Brent, how do I choose my color palette for a large mini like this? Well, actually, I was aiming to use some different colors for a black dragon, so that's how we ended up with purple and green, but still black. So yeah, all the stuff that I've done before, I can't really get him like real close to the camera because we are somewhat limited in our depth of field. But yeah, I decided that I wanted to do a black dragon, but use some unusual colors. And I always liked using purple, and I like dark green for swampy dragons, and black dragons are kind of swampy. So that's why I chose these two colors. And then, you know, I'm using some other colors to highlight them, obviously, to make them lighter, because my current green and purple is a very dark green, which is Swamp Green, 9175, and my purple is much lighter, Runic Purple, 9424. So as you see, I'm using a mixture of core and bones, which is very common for me. I really like a lot of the kind of transparent colors in the core line, and I also really like a lot of the brighter colors in bones. So I use a combo, and they work just fine like that. You mix whatever you like with Reaper paint. All right, well, I'm going to start painting, and then you guys can throw more questions at me, or just chat about the weather, because why not? What is it? It was REM song, isn't it, that we could talk about the weather? Orange Crush, I think, off the Green album. I've dated myself now.
Wow.
I went to that concert, you know. I went to a lot of concerts in high school because my boyfriend was totally into music. We did a lot of alternative stuff. So we saw REM and Sinead O'Connor and Howard Jones and, oh gosh, a whole bunch.
And also for the people that are coming in a little late.
Yep.
We're at 5 of 20 at
Ooh.
20 subs.
We need 15 more subs.
15 more, and that includes resubs. That includes, it's the stupid goal
yeah.
thing isn't actually counting it, but it does include
Justin's
resubs.
counting it.
So
that's all that matters.
Correct. Twitch Prime.
Yeah, so remember on your Twitch Prime subs, you do have to manually resub, guys. So if you haven't subbed to us for a while and you used your Twitch Prime, which is awesome because it gives you a free sub, essentially, you do have to actually go in and trigger that resub yourself. That's the downside of the Twitch Prime. All right, so I'm starting with pure black because he is a black dragon. My first highlight is the purple that you see there, so I'm pretty much going to grab some runic purple on my brush and start smooshing it in. I also have to pay attention to where this wing is going to be positioned. It's actually on the down side of the dragon. The other wing is tilted up and this one is tilted down. So I have to remember to kind of keep that in mind when I put the highlights in so that I have them positioned correctly. I'm going to try to get, when I first smoosh this in, it's going to be a very subtle effect. You can see, you can hardly see the purple. It's kind of mixing into the black a lot, but that's okay. This is why we do wet blending, because we want that subtle transition. We want it to essentially, this is quick blending. Wet blending for me is my fast blending technique. If I need to do a lot of blending in a short amount of time over a large surface, this is what I use. And I'll just start with that. Difference between core and bones, CaesarP. So essentially, bones is formulated, there's two differences between the two. Actually, three, sorry. Bones is formulated with an eye toward greater coverage out of the bottle, is one thing. It's pretty much the pinnacle of my paint mixing experience over the 15 years I've been creating Master Series paint. I learned a lot of tricks over those years about how to increase coverage without losing bright color. And so that's number one, is that the bones are formulated for better coverage in their bright colors, especially out of the bottle compared to core. The second difference is that you will not find things like liners, clear brights, and primers and sealers in the bones line. We're focused very much on it being just kind of a straight up line with no bells and whistles. So if you want those special usage paints, you definitely want to look at the core line. And then the third thing is that the metallics in the bones line are entirely new technology. We got access to a flake that was non-toxic like our normal flakes, but that had better sparkle. So the new metallics for bones are a different flake material, and they are more sparkly than the ones in core.
Also, thank you for the gift bomb there, Minnie.
Oh, did we get a gift bomb?
Yeah, we did, as well as some other resubs. Thank you,
awesome.
guys.
Yay. Oh, and for those who are coming in a little late, I made up a new skin triad. I actually promoted it on my Patreon. Yes, I have a Patreon. Thank you for asking. My Patreon is patreon.com/paintingbig. And the last month, I've got a color workshop tier where I talk about the paint and colors all the time. And what I did is I did a PDF for my $5 tier that had the holiday colors kind of broken down, and I gave suggested triads for each. So that's a PDF, and that was last month's content. So yeah, go give it a check out if you, I have a free video up also, and I'm actually working on some more free content to go up in the coming couple months, just so you guys can get an idea what I do over there. But anyway, so that's the difference between core and bones. So what do we got here? Oh, and I love my Patreon. Yes, thank you all you patrons who are actually on here. I know I saw D. Clearman, he's on there, and a couple others. But yeah, other than that, CaesarP is really that Ed just wanted us to make a Bones branded paint line so that, you know, when you look at the core line, it's a lot, right? It's over 300 colors, and it's big, and there's stuff in it that you maybe don't know what it is. So he wanted a simpler, smaller line for people who are just getting into the hobby, and then you can always branch into the core line as you realize how useful some of those things are. So you can see the purple coming along, and I'm just kind of working it. Since it's cold here, it's actually pretty fun to wet blend when it's cold out, because I find that the paint dries slower. So you actually have more time to blend. Wet blending for winter needs to be our new slogan. Which is nice. So I'm just like working up my purples, getting them brighter. The big brush also makes it really easy to get a nice smooth blend. Now, it's really hard to get a perfect blend when you're wet blending. It's better for just setting up stuff. So it lets you kind of get like the start. And then if I really want a perfect blend, then I can always go back in with layering, which is a wet over dry technique, and has more precision, but it isn't as fast. So, wintertime wet blending. Yes, exactly. Do I, no, actually, Lady Daredoggo, I do not use paint retarder when wet blending. I'm just trying to move fast. If you are in a very dry climate, then our drying retarder is a good option, or any drying additive. Be very careful when you use it. You want to add a very tiny amount to your paint. Because the problem with retarders is that they will harm your paint's adhesion, and they will make it not stick as well. So you need to, actually that's true of almost any additive you add in, with the exception of like the brush-on sealers or matte mediums. Those do not harm your adhesion. But stuff like retarder, which really is, it's foreign, it's not normally a paint, you know, it's not a paint product, so it can really mess up how well your paint sticks. Yeah, high desert to California, yeah, you can try it. Now, what you may also want to try, though, Lady Daredoggo, is just using a wet palette, if you don't already. Sometimes that can help a little bit, too. It'll keep your paint a little wetter for longer, and sometimes that will aid with wet blending. The other thing I suggest to people is to use a lot of paint when you wet blend. Hey, Evil Elvis, nice to see ya. So if you use more paint, like you saw, you might have seen I put it on pretty thick, right? So if you use more paint, it'll take longer to dry also. One way you can do that, or another good tactic rather, is to base coat with your base color before you wet blend over it. That way you don't have to worry about primer showing through or brush strokes or any of that. So that's another wet blending tip that really helps. All right, so we've got our green set up, or our purple set up. I'm actually going to kind of refine my purple on this next panel a little bit.
Real quick.
Yeah.
We had a gift bomb a few minutes ago, as well as some other resubs. We're now at 15.
Yay, we need 5 13. More.
I'm sorry, we're now at 16, since someone just subbed with a Twitch Prime. We need 4 more.
4 more to start the free giveaways, guys, and it's a custom triad that I made up for my Patreon people just this last month. It is rosy skin, and then the shadow is actually bright skin shadow instead of rosy shadow, and then the highlight is the new peppermint white for the holiday color set. And put together, these make a wonderful rosy skin tone for, especially for female models. Also would be good for children though, where you've got a lot of, you want them to look really lively. So either usage would be great. But I'm enamored of it. Like, I love this skin triad so much. I just used it on a commission model at home and just pretty much fell in love with how nice it looked. It's a lot more vibrant than, bright skin shadow is a lot more vibrant than rosy shadow. Here, I actually have both of them on my plate, so I can show you. So rosy shadow is actually, it's pretty pink when you compare it to other skin tones. Let's see. So it's got a lot more pink in it than some of these other colors, but bright skin shadow is like the super bright. Like, this was meant to be a cartoon type of skin tone shadow at first, but now I've realized that you can get some really nice shadows on regular models, because it's rosy enough to be used for things like knuckles. See, look, you can even see that it is the color of like the pinker tones in my skin. So it may look really bright to you guys, but it does work. Our skin is more saturated than we realize sometimes, depending on, your actual skin tone. Yes, they would be useful just for some of the kids' adventurers. You're right, Metal Sheep. Yeah, because kids always have those rosy cheeks, right? They always have the rosy faces. Yeah, because they're running around all the time. Their blood is up, and they've got good circulation, unlike some of us old people. So, yeah, you definitely could use the triad that way. I just really love the color. It just looks, it's so pretty. It's just, I wish I had my commission model, although I actually couldn't show it because it's not safe for work. But trust me, it looks really good. People at Paint Club got to see it the last couple weeks because I was working on it. All right, so there I'm setting up my purple really nicely. It's pretty subtle, but it's there. I could also just take, hello, Daffodweir. Oh, there we go. You could also, actually I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try something for the first time. Oh, Sunburn Lobster Skin. I made up that color, Nomad Zeke, but Ed canceled it. Give him lots of hell about it. It's Sunburn Skin from HD. But the short version of how to get there would be to take a color similar to like Mahogany Brown, which is a really red brown, 9070, and mix it with tan skin. And if it's not quite red or pink enough, try adding in like some Fire Red 9004 or Clear Red 9094. Any of those, or Heraldic Red, probably not. Maybe Cinnamon Red 9404. All right, I'm going to try something. I'm going to try, because I want a brighter purple highlight right here, and I didn't quite get it. I'm going to try just putting water down and grabbing some of my purple and see if that works. Technically, if I move really fast, it should kind of work.
Aaron Perkins wants to know what the wing you're holding goes to.
Oh, this is the dragon from Dance of Death. It's the Dueling Dragons diorama that Julie Guthrie did. So it's the 2 dragons fighting, and this is the dragon that's on the underside of the diorama, kind of looking up. Let's see if this works. And so I'm trying to finish this dragon by the end of the year, and then next year for January, for the new year, we'll start the dragon on top. It does take a while to do dragons, even when I'm trying to speed paint. Let's see if this works. I'm very curious. Kind of looks like it might work. Maybe I'm just stippling now with my brush tip to try to blend in the two. Well, that might have worked, guys. Pretty crazy. Who knew you could wet blend with water? If you're careful. But yeah, Aaron Perkins, here's Mr. Dragon. Here he is. So I'm setting up to do the other wing. And I'm going to add that green tone over my purple tone. But I wanted to see if I could get it a little bit brighter. Yeah, it's a really fun thing. And the nice thing is that much as it's taking me forever to paint these guys, it is actually small. The dragons are smaller, right? You can see that my hand is bigger than the wing. So that makes it a lot easier to paint. And if you airbrush, then you can even get it faster because you could lay down your base coat a lot faster. The biggest challenge with it is that you have to find a way to hold it without rub off, right? Because you've got some rub off here on my back scales, and I'm gotta hold on to the tail at this point. I held off like constructing him for as long as I could, but I was getting to the point where I desperately needed to see him more put together. So,
hold on real quick. Thunderflux wants to know what a good shop in Europe to purchase Reaper paints. Actually, our UK store would be a good place, I believe, in Europe to purchase from and have shipped to you.
Do you have that website, Justin?
Yes, actually. It's just our website. You just go in the top left corner and you hit the UK button. And it should switch it to the... Now, I believe you have to pay in pounds, I think.
Because it's British?
Yeah.
Because we're in England?
Correct. But it ships out of there, so it makes it very, very easy.
Yeah, much easier than usually. All right, we're going to do this far side of the wing. The far side of the wing. There was another question. Do I always hand paint such large minis or do I use an airbrush? Payless Apep, I really love hand painting. I do own an airbrush, and honestly, if I did dragons more often, I would probably use it more often. But for things like busts or just ogres or stuff, which is a little bit smaller, I do like the brushwork. An airbrush is a good tool for setting up that stuff, though. My main issue with it up to now has just been that I'm such a noob at it that it would take me it would take me longer to set it up, dial it in, clean it afterwards than it would for me to just hand paint the model in the first place or hand base coat the model. So that's pretty much my resistance. Part of it is just too that it's a tool I'm not used to. Although I did have Michael Proctor, who is an absolute whiz with the airbrush. For those of you who have taken his classes at ReaperCon or seen him at Clever Crow Studios, Michael is awesome. I did have him give me lessons, so I do have a little bit.
Speaking of Proctor, by the way.
Yeah?
This is super secret. The first time that anyone
super secret.
knows this.
Keep it quiet, everybody.
Since this is everyone, well, they'll
Keep
enjoy
it quiet,
this.
Internet.
They'll get this first.
You guys get this first.
This just came down the pipeline, but tomorrow at 11 a.m., we will have a bonus stream of Proctor doing some metallics, I believe.
Ooh, he's so good at metallics, guys. You should all watch.
So it's 11 a.m. Central Time for us tomorrow. We'll be doing some.
Are we importing him? Are we importing him for that?
No, he's going to be in town.
Oh,
in fact,
how nice!
We announced it last week. He's going to be the super secret special guest on Reaper Live tomorrow.
Oh, he's always entertaining.
So he is in town, and
especially if he heckles Ron and Ed.
Yes, we have grabbed him to do a stream at it's a first AM stream actually.
Oh,
I think.
Yeah, we're kind of branching out in our scheduling, guys. We're looking at some options for different time periods, so hopefully that'll open us up a little bit more to time zone-y stuff. It's going to start in the new year. We're still working out the details, but do keep your eyes pasted this direction, and if earlier is better for you, then maybe we can do something about that. Because we would like for people to be, everybody who wants to watch, to be able to watch. There are some time zones that are temporarily beyond us at this point, but we're working on it. We're working on it. All right, so there you can see the purple setting up. And I'm starting out pretty subtle again. It's pretty though, isn't it? I could just do this dragon purple and black. Ooh, isn't that pretty? I love it. All right. Ruddy brown and woodland brown been folded over into the regular bones lines, or if not, what would be the closest color? Ruddy brown, Iliad, is really, really a specialty. It's special. There's nothing like it. If you have a bottle, hold on to it. Woodland brown, I think, is going to be folded over into regular bones, if I recall correctly. I think it might be in a paint set. Or I thought I saw it on the list. How about that? What I use if I don't have ruddy brown to hand, Iliad, is I use ruddy leather, which is not exactly the same, but it does have a heavy load of the pigment that goes into ruddy brown. And the other thing to know is that our Kickstarter, Bones 5, that just ended... Oh.
Don't do that with your hand.
Oh. Sorry. Justin's going to yell at me for like the mic manipulation. But at any rate, the Kickstarter that just ended has a triad in it under the new paints, which is the oxides. It's yellow oxide, brown oxide, and red oxide. And the brown oxide in the Kickstarter 5 paint triads is equivalent to ruddy brown, except even a little bit more pigmented. I think, Astley the Monk, I think it was 11 a.m. for Michael Proctor tomorrow?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
11 a.m. CT.
Any
Central
tips
Time.
blending from green to purple? Max powers. Usually, honestly, I start out with my purple blend and then I blend my green blend into it. So in this case, I'm going to put green over the top of this, but leave a little bit of the purple underneath it. And I'm going to bring it up like I did here. So if you look here, you can see purple. And then I melded the green into it just with wet blending. So I'm going to try to do that here. I've got to mix up my my green though. I'm using swamp green and I was using creamy ivory to bring it up, but I don't have creamy ivory with me. So guess what? I'm going to have to hand mix it. Ooh, paint mixing with Anne. So creamy ivory is a yellowish color and it's got a little bit of brown in it. So I'm going to start with 9407 Lantern Yellow because that's kind of an orangey yellow and it tends to be a good color for mixing creamy colors. Ooh, that might be a little bit much. We'll see. And then I'm going to add just a tiny bit of russet brown, 9199, which is just the brown I have on my plate and is good enough at this point. It's kind of our equivalent for burnt umber in artist color terms. So I'm going to add just a tiny bit of that. And I'm going to add some white and see where that gets me. Yeah, now you just have to wait for the Kickstarter to fulfill. But Iliad, honestly, the ruddy leather works pretty good as a stand-in. Yeah, yeah. I regularly reach for the 9109 ruddy leather if I need to, if I need ruddy brown and I don't have it to hand, which happens fairly often because, there we go. Okay, so that's very yellow. So let's transfer a bunch of that to the next well, but not all of it because I've just got a lot of yellow in it. Add a little bit more of my russet brown, because that's too yellow, so I need to brown it out just a little bit. Let's try to mix that up and see. Oh, that's much better. Okay, so now we're looking kind of like a dark color, and cream is just yellow plus brown plus white.
Also, there will be, I'll talk to John to get a
there we go.
to get all the stuff together and give him the post to put out to people about Proctor's stream tomorrow.
Yeah, so that social media will reflect our awesome thing. Awesome.
Correct.
I love that. Sweet. Reaper miniatures and previous goal-based giveaways seem like Moobot wouldn't take the free until the goal was met. Is it possible to have Moobot take entries during the whole show? I think Moobot has to be manually triggered, doesn't he? Or I don't remember.
It does, yeah. But I guess instead of taking the entries and then just throwing them away, I guess we could do that, but I didn't want to activate it until... Because what I don't want is to allow it and then have a bunch of people enter thinking there's a free, getting a confirmation, and then going, where's the giveaway?
That makes sense. That makes sense. So maybe we just need to tell people, don't necessarily free right away. Wait till we hit sub and then free.
Correct. But, I mean, if...
there we go. This will be close enough.
It's probably 6 one way, half dozen another, maybe, but...
Yeah. Will the Michael Proctor thing be uploaded to YouTube after?
Yes, it will. Everything we put out ends up on YouTube. Everything.
Yes, YouTube is our archive, ladies and gents.
Yes, it is.
All right, let us try to do some green with stuff in it. Got one more well on camera.
I like to refer to YouTube as our grease trap, actually.
I have heard you do that.
No, we have not hit the goal. We'll have to type it in chat since they don't have audio. We are 4 subs away from the goal.
4 subs. 4 subs for a skin triad that I made up. All right, so I'm going to thin this green a lot. It's quite thin. And I'm going to grab a different brush to apply it because I'm working smaller now. So I'm actually going to use, this is not my favorite brush, but it's the right kind. Let's see, maybe there's a... Let's try Raphael. Looking at what I got over here. There we go. That's a good one. That's a big fat mixing brush. Aha. Yeah, we'll use that.
Oh, look at that. Thank you, Silverthorn. And
Oh,
there's our goal.
yay! There's our goal. Okay, so the triad that is up for grabs is one I made up. It is really good for females and children. It is rosy skin as the midtone. It is bright skin shadow as the shadow. And it is the new winter peppermint white for the highlight. And it makes lovely, lovely, lovely skin tones.
And we're giving away 5 sets.
5 sets. Purple. Look,
And the
that's
giveaway
way
is
too
now
pow-
open.
Way too strong. Way too strong. Way too strong. You can watch me screw up on camera, guys. Yay!
Thank you,
So my paint was
Silverthorn.
way too strong. Yeah, thank you, Silverthorn, for being so generous. So I tried to put it right on. I was way too strong with my paint. This is Layering Mess-Ups 101. Actually, you know what? I think I need to mix up some black and runic purple together. Then I won't make that mistake. So the key, you can highlight any color with any other color, guys. You really can. The key is in doing intermediate stages. So I'm actually going to do kind of a mix of purple and green, which is going to look ugly as sin. And I'll start with that. You can always create a transitory color between the two, or you can layer over the top like I was originally planning to. The problem with doing a transition color is that often it will be muddy. Like, that's the muddy purple that I get when I mix those two colors. And that's not really what I want. So instead, I might not go with wet blending here. I may decide to go with layering instead. So that means I need to thin this color down a bit. Layering lets you layer one color as a highlight directly over the other color, but still blend it.
The peppermint white, that's the one in the holiday set, right?
Yes, it is the holiday peppermint white. It is a pinkish white, and that's why it works great with the skin tone, with the rosy skin tone. So I'm going to put on a little bit of this transition color first and see what I can do. And I'm going to slide to my Da Vinci for layering because I like the thinner bristle. Let's see here. Yeah, that's still really strong. That is one thing when you're putting one color over another, is that you can really see some brush strokes when you first try it.
Thank you for the bits, Keldor.
We got bits. Oh, awesome.
I believe
Bits
we
are so
did.
cool. And let's see.
Yes,
here.
we did.
Well, I was going to do layering, but now I need to like fix this.
We don't get bits too often, by the way.
We don't get bits very often?
I don't know how often people actually get, like, I mean, in general.
I tend not to, like, you know, see bits used too much. I see them used more on streamers.
They're definitely more
like
obscure.
gaming streamers.
Yeah, they're more obscure for what I think this channel offers than other people.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to wet blend into my wet blend and, like, getting all silly. All right, I may have to do a side blend. Let's show you guys how to do that and see if I can have more success with this. So if your blending is really fighting you, or you're trying to put two different colors together and it's just not working, try to do two-color brush. In this case, I want a damp brush, so I want water in my brush, but then I'm just going to squeeze it out. I'm not going to use a paper towel or anything. I want some water still in the brush, but it should still make a nice point. Load up your color that you want at the top, which would be, in my case, purple. Wipe a lot of it off the brush, then dip the tip of your brush in the lighter color you are trying to do, green, and do a side stroke and see if you can get it to work that way. Kinda. There are times I ask myself, how did you get it to work in the first place? And probably the answer is lots of futzing.
Thank you, Numbat. There's bits right there.
Bits. We
Bits
got bits.
are
Bits.
some people were asking. Bits are the and that's actually a good explanation there. Charzan the Barbarian. Is it Charzan or anyway? Charzan the Barbarian. They're basically a Twitch only currency where it's like it's kind of like a tip, I guess. So a singular bit represents a penny, I think. So at least in U.S. currency, so like 100 of them is $1.
It's a cryptocurrency.
Yeah,
It's Twitch's cryptocurrency.
And it's next to the sub button, and people can. I think you can buy bits. I don't know.
Yep,
I've
you
never
can buy
personally used them, but I think you could get them as a part of like other people giving them to you as well. I want to say.
Yeah, you can trade them just like money.
Yeah, so it's
the point of a crypto.
Really, ultimately, it's kind of just a tip. So it's one of those things that I really don't know how often they get used across all of Twitch. I'm curious, really.
I need more purple. Now this happens when you've added too much water and your paint starts to split on the model, but we can fix it by pulling the extra water off with our brush. Now we're going to leave brush strokes if we keep playing with it though. So I'm going to remix my purple because I soaked it all up.
Thank you, Keldor. There's the conversion. He's showing us the conversion for bits.
Oh, very nice. But yeah, cryptocurrencies are very interesting to study. There's some good articles out there on what they are and how they work, and anybody can start one, but to have anybody take your cryptocurrency, you know, like seriously, you have to be like a high-end, you kind of have to have a high-end IP like Twitch does. I think it was the Wall Street Journal actually has a great article on that, because they, at one point, one of their media guys was looking into starting a Wall Street Journal cryptocurrency, like what would it take? So he used that, and he went to China and Japan and kind of tried to figure out, you know, how his currency would be valued and could they even do it. And then his editorial department pretty much said that he couldn't do it after all because, you know, it compromised the integrity. It was a conflict of interest with the Wall Street Journal. Like, you know, selling their own cryptocurrency was not a good thing. So, but it was an interesting article of what goes into, because there's people trying to launch their own currencies all the time, it turns out.
Yeah, I'm checking bit rates and stuff, guys. It looks like if there's any sort of buffering or issues like that, it may be on Twitch's end or your end, I guess, as far as internet connection, because my bit rate seems to be pretty stable. So
there we go. I'm just reworking this because I'm not happy with how the green is blending. Now you guys get to see when Anne's having a bad paint day, when the paint doesn't want to work.
Thankfully, if you miss anything whatsoever, or just a chunk or whatever, it will always be on YouTube. So in perfect clarity, like you're watching it live. So there will not be any cutouts.
You just can't babble at us.
Yeah, you just can't engage, unfortunately.
Yes. Do. Cuts out sometimes. Yeah. Just making sure I'm not... Ooh, leftover cheddar biscuits. I am so jealous of you, Nomad Zeke. Cheddar biscuits. Cheesy biscuits are the best. Maybe I need to, like, stop working on this part of the swing and move on to a different part of the wing. Now my green is starting to work now, though. Sometimes, the problem with painting this, you know, in 1 hour a week is that sometimes I forget how I did it by the time the time comes to do it on the other area. And then I'm like, how did I do that? Oh, well, let's just try to do it and find a new way. The perils of not touching in with your work frequently enough. I'm sure you guys have all hit that when you've got a model you've worked on ages ago, but that you lost love for it and you put it aside, and then you go back to it and you're like, but how did I do that?
Yeah, I have a theory here that the new dashboard they pushed out for Twitch has caused issues across everything. Just not only from the consumer, but from, you know, just everything. It's just kind of been a pain in the butt. It's their growing pains.
Do I take requests for things that we would like you to show us in the future? Not really right now, Vecnan. That sort of thing is, there would be so many requests and there's no way to prioritize them. I'm able to do it on my Patreon because I let my upper tier people pretty much tell me what to paint and what to teach. But here on the Twitch, we have so many viewers. It would be really random. I'd rather kind of plan content, and right now we're doing Dragon, but we're looking at doing a show that has more focused content, not as much Dragon in the future. We'll see. We'll see if it actually works or if we go through with it. Everything is up in the air.
However, if you feel so inclined, we're not going to say no. So if you'd like to email us at reaperlive at reapermini with any sort of suggestions, I mean, we can
read it. Yeah, we can read it. And if we see one topic that a lot of people want to see, then sure, we can absolutely work that in.
Absolutely.
I just won't take individual requests because we've got too many people in the community. It wouldn't be fair.
Completely agree. We would end up with 20 different submissions from 20 different things, and that's unfortunately
20. I'm thinking more like 100.
A million.
We would a lot of people would probably say, "Hey, can we have this? Can we have that?"
Yeah,
you know?
Unfortunately, it's not super practical.
It's not.
However, if we did get 20 suggestions of the same thing, then
then we totally know there's an audience.
We'd do something very exhaustive on whatever that thing was.
Right.
So.
Yes. So if you care, if you want to, you can always suggest.
You know, Casmania, I have no idea. I'm so far disconnected from production at this point, unfortunately.
What was that?
They ask if they change the free mini of the month price on orders because they spent over 40 and didn't get it.
Oh yeah, I have no idea. That's a question
Yeah.
for like questions at Reaper Mini or help at Reaper Mini.
Now, was that over 40 with shipping? Because I think it's 40 without shipping. I know that's probably not helpful, but that's the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah, Justin and I pretty much don't interact with the sales departments at all. We are closeted in our
Yeah, we
respective divisions.
We end up with information, but it's usually really dated. Like we're so far down on the totem pole for that kind of information.
Mostly because we don't need it.
Correct. We don't need it, right? And so we get it way late. So if they had changed that, I'll find out probably after you do.
Yeah. Now I'm, again, playing with wet blending, but with a far more precise brush. It's getting a little bit of a spooky effect. But,
Careful there with your other hand.
Oh.
It's okay. That's what I'm here for.
It's because I wore my necklace today, and I shouldn't have. And I'm always reaching up to, like, go make sure that it's still on or something. I don't know. Necklace fiddling. It's a horrible thing. I'll definitely not wear it to next stream. Trying to get my green going on. Come on, green. You can do it.
Casmania, if you have the... I don't want to create a precedence here because I don't want... what I can't
Justin
do
is not help at justinmini.com.
Unfortunately, I can't always do customer service. However, I will absolutely help you given the opportunity. If you want to message me your order number, I can look into it for you.
Or you can hand it off to the appropriate person.
Hand it off to the appropriate... We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, but really, isn't it help at Reaper Mini? I think it's Katie.
Is it? Is it help? Is that where they send... See, that's another thing, too. I don't know where they want that traffic sent.
Yeah, I'm kind of assuming it was help at Reaper Mini because she gets like lost part numbers and general questions about orders. I don't know that she can look up an order. That might be an Adrian or internet question. See, this is what we mean when we say we're bad at helping you with this stuff, is that we don't know a lot of it.
Yeah, I haven't been in production since...
a long time ago?
2 years ago, probably at this point. Well, maybe a little less than that. Year and a half.
There we go. They got some green. You've been up here for a while.
It's been a few minutes.
When they found you useful, they caged you up here. I'm surprised you're not chained to the table, really.
You'd be surprised.
Are there manacles under the desk?
Now there's an upside. I don't have to wear pants.
We did not need that mental image, Justin.
Hey, I'm just saying I don't have to. I'm not saying I'm not wearing pants.
We had this discussion in a previous show, I think.
I'm not required to wear pants.
I think you should be wearing bunny slippers. Because you could.
Deal. I will wear bunny slippers.
See, you heard it, guys. Oh, hi, Shadokami. Yeah, the cruise was super fun and relaxing. I needed it badly. I needed a recharge. Sometimes you need to. I don't take vacations, really. So it was the first real vacation I'd had in a very long time. And I realized that, yeah, it would probably be a good thing to take a vacation every year, just because otherwise I get burned out and sad and exhausted with all the stuff that I do. It takes 7 days to recharge an Anne, it turns out. Kilts are totally acceptable alternatives.
I've actually worn a kilt before.
Some men do not look good in kilts, Silverthorn.
I
mean, they're legal and all, but I mean, some guys you just don't want to see in them.
Maybe I'll pull out the old picture of me in a kilt and I'll put it on
You
stream
should,
sometime.
yeah. Just like we have Ed in a tractor, we can have Justin in a kilt.
Oh, whoa! I didn't say an emote. Whoa! we don't need me in a kilt on an emote.
Oh, hi Thunderflux. This is Anne. I am the creator of Master Series Paint, and I also am Reaper Staff Painter. And I designed the paint lines and all this stuff, and I am painting the Dance of Death dragon from the Dueling Dragons diorama that Julie Guthrie did. And I'm currently trying to re-engineer how the heck I got a green highlight on my purple. It's definitely a challenge. I think my mistake is in trying to work with it while it's wet. But anyway, I'm trying to put a green highlight on my purple wing so that we can move on. Actually, that's not bad. That works. I should have looked at it from the correct angle. So that we can move on and do the scars and stuff like that. I want to at least get to a little bit of the scars today. For those who missed the first stream where I did the other wing. But I am going to add a little bit more black here. And the problem with trying to integrate all of your blending. And I need to do the scales too, so maybe I'll do some of that. The scales were a little bit easier. Just checking to see how much purple I've got here. Just mucking around at this point. There, that blends. Good. Oh no. Bad. Scrub it off. All right, that works good enough. Good enough. All right. Yes, Trashorama, there is an Anne.
Thank you for the Twitch Prime.
Yeah. Oh, and remember your hashtag free people. Hi, Coffee Nerdery Beer. Yay, thank you. No offense to Ed. Aw, we aren't trolling Ed.
Also,
I suppose I can't troll Ed. He's my employer. It's
also,
such a bummer.
Paulith, the one time that
Let's
I did
see
wear
here.
a kilt, I had the entire outfit,
Let's
the entire
see here.
ensemble.
Trying to fit together my wing to check my positioning, make sure I've got the light source where I need it, and also look where I need to highlight for this part of the wing.
Thank you, Max Powers.
So I think I need to extend a highlight up here. Always check your positioning. When you're painting with an eye toward where the light is coming from, and you're working on a big complex thing like this dragon, you do want to kind of position the area correctly under a light source to make sure that you are not forgetting, like I did, where you should have a highlight up here. Luckily, purple is easy to blend. This is the dragon from Dance of Death by Julie Guthrie. It is the Two Dragons Fighting diorama from Bones 4. It is awesome, because Julie is awesome and does awesome dragons. And sometimes she even comes into chat here while I'm painting. She also did our awesome Maldukar, as well as many other things. She is fantastic.
Collins, his main job is actually something very different from what he helps me with. And he actually ends up doing that most of the time, especially now that it's Christmas time. His other job is very busy. So he handles all of that stuff whilst I, do the video department. So he helps me with a lot of the step and fetch tasks, like the herding of the cats and the getting the run sheets together and, some of the producer type roles.
He also helps with messaging and things like that.
And messaging and he helps me organize because, everything else is really, really busy.
Reaper is always busy.
Yeah.
Always, always. Never a slow day at this job. No matter what you're doing, you're usually doing 5 things. Instead of like hiring 60 zillion people who each do one thing, we tend to hire very talented, driven people who can do 5 or 6 things. So that way...
And then they hire me.
You're not a one-trick pony, mister.
Yeah, but self-deprecative humor is my specialty.
Gotta stop the negative self-talk.
Oh, no, it's not real. It's
okay,
not real.
as long as it's
I
not
promise
real.
it's not real.
Mustn't be real.
I feel like it has to not be real to be good.
Anne's personal favorites among the holiday line this year. Well, the current triad that we're giving away /free is includes peppermint white, so you can include peppermint white. Coal black is, of course, a very useful off black. I like turkey brown a lot. I mean, I don't think there's ever a lapsed market for a really good warm brown that mixes and goes with a lot of other things, and that's turkey brown. It does that. It's very nice. I've always loved Christmas wreath as possibly the best medium dark green that I've ever made as far as coverage goes and saturation. So, Christmas wreath is also a long-time favorite of mine. Those are pretty much the standouts. Love turkey brown. Good. Glad to see another turkey brown. Oh yeah, ginger cookie is also really useful as a nice neutral, nice warm neutral. You can use ginger cookie for anything you could use driftwood brown for. They're similar, but a little bit different. Ginger cookie is a little more golden. Driftwood brown I like to add into darker browns like russet brown, 91.99, to make nice neutral leather colors. Because sometimes leather can get too yellow or orange on you. But if you mix in a color like ginger cookie with like, where's russet brown? Russet brown is our kind of our burnt umber color. So it's a good one to use. You can get a nice kind of muted leather that looks nice and worn. Let me see. Am I going to do this? Oh, sure. Why not? I didn't learn my lesson the first time. We're going to do it.
No rings. The dueling or Dance of Death is not available just yet. We're waiting for shipments.
Oh, reship.
Reshipments, yeah. So it's.
I'm painting a thing we're out of. Oh, noes. Ed is never going to let me hear the end of it.
We've been doing it for so long at this point.
Yeah, I guess we're just doomed. So we successfully promoted the Dueling Dragons diorama because we ran out. Oops. Boom, 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 boom. 2 brush blending with 1 brush is what I'm doing right now. I have to laugh. I never bothered to learn 2 brush blending because it always seemed so gimmicky to me. I was just like, I just wet blend. And then my boyfriend saw me do it, and he's like, you know, you're 2 brush blending. You're just only using 1 brush to 2 brush blend. And I was like, oh, I had no idea.
I don't think it actually released yet, Anne.
Which one?
The Dance of Death.
What? Yeah, it's Bones 4.
I know it's Bones 4, but we're still releasing that in waves, remember?
We are?
I'm pretty sure. Hey, once again, let's go back to our conversation earlier. I don't know if my information's dated or yours. In fact, I don't know what's right.
My information just comes from common sense, in which case, if we've been promoting this thing, we darn well better be selling it.
We will be eventually.
But I know that common sense is sometimes weak around here, so, you know, oops, was that my outside voice? Not really, guys. In reality, Reaper is extremely organized for a company of its size, especially with how little staff we employ. Just sometimes I'm always surprised, like, you know, because if I would have known that it wasn't released, would I have picked this model? I don't know. Maybe I just decided to do it because I really love the model. Probably.
Yeah, see, we are still releasing it, apparently. And yeah, it's not released yet.
Oh, well then, when does it release? Ron, if you're watching this, get it on release, darn it. I had no idea that I was telling people about this awesome model that they couldn't even have. I mean, I've been trolling the internet for all these months.
That's a committed troll, Ann.
It really is. I mean, it's almost as good as Ed's trolls.
Yeah, building the hype. That's right. We're going to get all this in, and they're going to be gone immediately.
Yeah, great. Just what we want. Or something. I guess it's better than having them sitting in the warehouse. Wet blending. Hey, I think I've dialed in my purples and greens finally. Took long enough. See, even with people like me who've been painting for, you don't want to know how long I've been painting. I screw it up and have to like sit and futz with it to make it work too.
Actually, we did green users, which is, by the way, that's Bob.
Hi, Julie. Hi, Bob.
Yeah, we did do a giveaway, but that was before we realized that they hadn't released yet, and all of the ones we had were gone.
Oh no!
So we had to do a replacement where we gave people Troxul instead, which is huge.
Which is actually pretty cool because Troxul is an immense dragon.
Correct.
But it was kind of sad of us not to realize at that point.
At this point, do we know if you're going to finish painting it before it gets released?
No, we don't, actually. It depends on when Ron decides to release it. Which probably depends on when we get it from China. Although I don't know how much that's tied together. I assume we kind of pre-order things and kind of plan how we're going to get them out. But it could also be like constraints on production. I have no idea.
I agree, Forever Night, by the way, if you're still listening in actual chat here. I would reach out to John. He might be able to help you when you're here this weekend with what you were sending me. So
I'm just wet blending again with the side of my brush. Putting more black in. I got so purple. I got so immensely purple. Now it's going to be a purple dragon unless I correct some stuff. Not that there's anything wrong with a purple dragon. All right, well that's okay. So let's do the next wing. Now that I've kind of finally gotten this dialed in. Give away that single dragon wing that we're working on right now. Josie RK, what colors am I using? I am using my Black Dragon Suite, which is 9039, 9424, and 9175. The 9175 in this case, I'm actually lightening by adding an equivalent to creamy ivory, 9144. And this is the color, these are the colors I've been using all along for Mr. Dragon. I also have been using, for his inside of his wings with the veins and everything, I've been doing a mixture of blue liner with white added, that's the blue-gray you see here, a clear red with just a tiny touch of blue liner to darken it for the veins, and then I think a pure white to lighten everything. At the end, I glaze with a skin color, which bright skin shadow, which is actually part of today's giveaway, to make it not as blue and to make it look a little more fleshy. So my suite of colors on this dragon, I probably am using, counting the bright red in the eye, I'm trying to think of what I'm using, maybe 8 colors for the entire thing. Oh wow, we have gift subs.
Thank you, Motor City Ray.
Motor City Ray, you are awesome.
That's a new name, isn't it?
All right, yes, are you new?
I've never seen that, yeah. Thank you. That's awesome.
Max Powers, whenever something goes up like in somebody else's IP, we have to be really careful. So we can't put out like a duplicate or a ripoff of somebody else's stuff. So if it was on Rick and Morty, I mean, maybe we'd make a dragon that kind of maybe looks sort of like it, but we wouldn't be able to make a dragon that looked like it.
Oh, it's I saw that. Vanquisher was changing his name. So is that your new name then, Vanquisher? Motor City Ray? I like that.
Cool.
That's awesome, buddy.
Yeah, no problem, Josie RK. I love Swamp Green especially. Actually, I love all these colors. I love Runic Purple and Swamp Green. They're 2 of my favorite colors. Yes. Yay. All right, much love for Motor City Ray. See, all it takes is gift subs to get love bombed. All right, I need to like maybe do this next wing.
Our buddy Ron is here.
Hey, it's Ron. Ron, when do we release Dance of Death?
Spring 2020.
Spring 2020. Coming up, guys.
So Anne
Get
might
ready.
actually beat it. I don't know. We'll see.
Huh?
You might actually beat it.
Yeah.
Before it gets here.
I can't make the box until I have the painted dragon to make a box with.
Oh my gosh. See what he's doing now? He's totally like putting me on the line for this. Hey, I wasn't originally the person who was supposed to paint this, was I?
Pick out his own damn man.
Well, he is. He's going to be ready, so hopefully Friday night.
I thought tomorrow.
Well, he says he's going to be ready today. He wanted to do it maybe today. I told him I could jet after the string, because soon I have to go. That's the other way to find.
Wet blending again.
You can paint the crayons. Dre or something like that.
Let's see here.
Call it back to me. He's just spread his wings. Huh? Yeah, that's what I said.
He'll be here today. You have that conversation.
And see, I'm mixing the purple, and then if I mix the green in directly, it's a little bit easier to get it to blend. Oh, there's much mumbling over in the corner. There's not an ominous silence, Silverthorn. It's just like Ron had to actually come in to work something out. So, business talk, blah blah blah. What's the peanut sound? Wah 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 wah. That's what I'm hearing from the corner right now. Wah 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 wah. I think they're actually talking about super secret stuff about Michael Proctor's stream. Yay. All right, doing stuff. Blending, blending, blending. And I'm going to blend up here. Going to put some black in and use the side of my brush to blend, which works really well. Especially, that's why using a big brush for wet blending can be really good, guys. You can use it and blend with the side of it. Yes, the free today is a custom skin triad that I made up for my Patreon people originally, and I gave that to them last month in a PDF. I actually made up triads for all of the holiday colors in that PDF on my Patreon, which is patreon.com/paintingbig. Because we started out painting big models, and then now we're painting a lot of little models, but I like my logo too much to change it, so it's painting big it remains. But anyway, yeah, so the triad that we're giving away is one that is for the Christmas colors. It's got a Christmas color in it, peppermint white. The base color is rosy skin, The shadow color is actually, instead of rosy shadow, it's bright skin shadow. And the highlight color for the triad is peppermint white. And it makes a great rosy skin color for women and kids, especially. I'm just in love with it. I tried it on a 54 millimeter female model that I had for a commission and just fell in love with that skin triad. So I'm going to be using it all over the place now. So that's what we're giving away for the free is rosy skin, bright skin shadow, and peppermint white. There we go. Now we're getting our green to purple fade, and the wing is going to be kind of tilted, so that's good. I do need more of a highlight up this inside edge, though, so let's work on that. Oh, Bones 4 for this dragon. I'm trying to catch up on chat, guys. Yes, painting big also means painting boldly and with gusto. Exactly, Painty Dog. That's actually kind of, I had that kind of thought when I started it too. I liked that it's like thinking big, right? Except it's painting big. You should always try to tackle projects that you love, even if they're big, as in difficult. I'm going to try to highlight the inner side of this wing because I want the highlight to hit there. So I'm going to grab, oh no, purple. When you do that, grab some water, scrub it off. The paint takes a couple seconds to set. So if you do that accidental brush stroke, I mean, you got to kind of keep your eyeball open and notice that you did the accidental brush stroke to fix it, but you can grab it with some, I rinsed out my brush really quick, I grabbed some water, and then I fixed it. And we're just doing some purple highlight here, and then I'm going to introduce the green, which is swamp green plus some creamy ivory, or equivalent. Technically, I had to hand mix my creamy ivory today because I forgot to put it on my plate because I'm silly that way. That's really bold. So now I'm going to take some water and feather in the edges. There was singing or something. I missed it.
Yeah, that was my brother.
Oh, okay.
He came down the hallway and then he realized we were streaming. And
yeah, he does that a lot.
Froze immediately.
Reese just regularly has recording fails, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
He should know better, especially now that you're going to be like, recording all sorts of things.
Yeah, fact.
Yes. That's a lot of purple. I don't know if I wanted all that purple. I'm going to take much of it off. You can also do that. If you put down a color and you don't like it, you can grab a brush full of water and just kind of go blurk, take it off. It is doable. And then I can actually, since it's still wet, maybe grab some green and wet blend that. Oh no, I've got a hair. Don't you guys hate that? It's probably from my dog because she's downstairs. I brought her in with me today.
Yes, my brother also works here. My much younger brother.
Yes.
Also works here. He is the, what is he? He expedites stuff between casting and packaging or something like that. He organizes it between the two to make sure that they have the list that they need. I don't know, something. He's in production. No
Some
idea.
organizational thing in production.
And his name is Reese, yes. Actually spelled correctly, Max Powers. That's impressive because most people spell it with an S.
Ta-da. Blending, blending, blending. Big brush strokes. Ta-da. That's not bad. There we go. Look at that. That looks good. There's our green to purple shift. What was the release date for Sophie's Champagne? That's a Sadie question. Blurk.
Yes, you did, Forever Night. That is my younger brother.
Yes. They don't look at all alike, so it's really confusing, isn't it, Forever Night? I always think it's confusing. I'm just like, wait? What? And now we have John, who actually is, it's okay if John interrupts us.
Yeah, it's been kind of like the train station here. Everyone's stopping by.
Like everybody wants a piece of this. Everybody wants to be here today. All right, one more. So this wing, I want to get all that big surface down there. So let's get that. Yep, as always.
But I'm jetting it for you as well, so if you need me.
Yeah, I have to basically leave as soon as the
As
stream
soon as we're
ends.
done.
Yeah, as soon as the
You
stream
got to
ends.
stream and run, Justin?
I
Man.
don't have a choice,
Dear me.
unfortunately. We have I have a very, very, very busy next, like, 4 days. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to blink and I'm going to wake up Sunday. No, I'm gonna go to bed Sunday night, finally having accomplished everything. So, we will see.
Yay, positive thinking. You will totally accomplish everything.
Oh, no, we'll get it done. It's just going to be a very, very busy, like, constantly going to stuff type, because my fiance is graduating college Friday.
Oh, that's right. It's Michaela's graduation.
So all of her family's in town. I'm actually shooting I'm doing a photography shoot for a portrait session for the whole family.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Collins
yeah.
is helping me with it, actually.
Because you were originally, photography, was that a sideline for you? Because you were originally into videography and you got into photography?
I had a videography company at one point that I owned with a friend of mine like 10 years ago. And then I sold my portion of it, went into something else, and then kind of just worked. And then I finally found myself here. And then I didn't get into photography until after I moved up here, actually, into this position. And then it went hand in hand with what we do. So thank you, Dark Angel.
All right. So that's looking pretty good there. That's looking pretty good on my wing. I'm kind of liking it. I lost a bit of my purple here, but I don't know if I'm really invested in trying to mess things up further or if I just want to do some, I don't know, I want to do some scars. Scars sound good. Let's get some scars going on. Let's move my paint. I know it's like guest hosting the show at this point, but all right. So for scars, we like to use our Bright Skin Shadow. And I actually add a little bit of white to it because I want it to show up pretty well. I want it to have really good coverage so I can do these really thin lines. And then what we do at the end, if we want them to be pinker, is we glaze just a little bit of clear red over them. Yes, boy, that looks bright on camera. Clear red is awesome. Brightest red we make. Highly, highly pigmented. Let's get our couple, I'm going to do like 3 drops of Bright Skin Shadow, and then I'm going to do, or I would if it hadn't clogged. So luckily I have my Reaper Pokey tool. Yay.
I'm a little north of that there, Max. Close enough, though. That works. You thought I was in my mid-20s.
Well, he's not far off.
Not far off, no.
I'd always kind of blink at Reaper because I've been here for so long. People who I like thought of as kids when they joined are like getting into their 30s now, and it's just like, what? Wait, it's as bad as having kids.
Yeah, I'll actually, when it gives me the stream health at the end of this,
Reaper Pokey Tool will be our guest host.
I'm gonna do a deep dive into what happened over the course of the stream to see if it's something on our end or if it's on Twitch's end. To see if it's I'll investigate, guys, I promise.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people are having issues, so
we're having some reports of sound dropping, and that's never happened. That's kind of weird.
Yeah. I wonder if it's a Twitch thing. All right, let's see here. I also did just some little splotches with the Bright Skin Shadow as I see, so maybe I'll also kind of brutalize my dragon a little bit. Because right now the wing is so pristine and pretty. It's like brand new, shiny, young dragon wing. And our dragon is scrappy. We need him to like go a little bit scrappier than that. So, and the reason that the highlights placement is different on these 2 wings is that one of these wings is up in the air and tilted, kind of like that. And the other wing comes down more, so that's why the highlights are different. Wow, look at how purple that looks in the light. That's pretty awesome, actually. Now, one thing I can do to take down this purple is I can glaze with my swamp green. And I think I'm going to, because I kind of want a little bit more of a green tone. So what I'm going to do is grab about a drop of swamp green and add a couple drops of water, mix it up, and try to glaze it over one of these wings to take the purple down just a little bit. And this also will, on any light surfaces, it will make my highlights look greener. Oh, that's actually pretty strong. I'm going to need another drop of water. 2 drops of water. There we go. Glazes are colors that you just put over the top of something if you want to blend together, blending that's not good. If you want to change or shift the color just a little bit, maybe make it brighter. So will inks work like the clear paints for the same effect? Kind of. Peccatum tacturitis? I don't even know. Taciturite. Pegatum. That's your name. Okay, so inks. Today's inks are indeed just pigments, superfine pigments in a base of sorts. So they actually are a lot more like paint than traditional inks are. So if you're working with acrylic inks like the Daler Rowney inks, then yes, they'll work like as if you thinned the clears. This is the dragon that is upside down in the Dueling Dragons diorama, Dance of Death. We're going to put a swamp green glaze. I think I'm going to try it on this wing. Yeah, that greens out that highlight a lot, and it drops my purple.
Actually, let's see here. According to this, yeah, our network connection just dipped into unstable.
Oh, no.
As of 30 seconds ago.
Oh, don't do it, network connection.
So that could actually be our internet. Let me check our internet real quick.
Let's see here. I think I want some green down here. Gonna green out my green. See how that glaze makes it more green, guys? And I can just take some water and kind of paint around the outside of that while it's still wet to blend it in. So I don't need to affect the purple if I don't want to. There. But I got my green to go more green by doing that glaze. See, that's what a glaze does. It can intensify color or shift color really subtly. Now, when you're working with like things like the Daler Rowney inks, be aware they are very strong. So you want to maybe thin them with a little bit of water or medium. Baphomet, yes, it's rare that I use a wet palette. The reason is that I like to thin my paint a lot, and when you do that on a wet palette, the paper will the sponge just grabs your moisture and just drags it right out. So it's really hard. If you like to work with thin paint, it's really hard to do that on a wet palette because the palette is constantly adjusting the level of moisture and you don't have control over it. I don't like that, so I use a well palette almost exclusively. I've forced myself to use a wet palette in some circumstances just to get used to it and just so I can talk about it in an informed manner. There are some things it's very good for. If you like to work with thinner paint, or sorry, thicker paint, then wet palette is your friend. You can get some very nice effects if you generally work with thicker colors, but just blending them together on the model, or you're not worried as much about smooth transitions. So wet palette's very good for that. It's also very good for speed painting because you usually are working with a little bit thicker paint when you're speed painting. Technically, a lot of the stuff I'm doing here with the wet blending, yes, I could do on the wet palette. Because I'm using with thicker paint. But things like that glaze that I mixed, I could never do. Like, I'd have to mix up every single brush stroke of glaze that I use to do it on a wet palette. It just doesn't work.
Actually, I got it fixed, guys. All I had to do was stir the cryo tanks. That's it. That's all it took.
Let's see here. Reboot the spin casters. I know, right? Really, it's just the spin casters with their little hamsters inside, running that keep Reaper powered all day. Going to do a little bit of my glaze there. Once that's dry, you don't want to glaze over a wet surface. It will pull up your paint. Never a good idea. Green, green, green. Green, green, green. There. And now so I don't want a line for my glaze, I'm going to get a wet brush and just brush across the edge to blend it in.
I did defrag it too, Max. I had to defrag it and stir the cryo tanks.
He's a pro, man.
All of those things happen within seconds.
Good. All right, let's do some scars. Where's my thin brush? For thin lines, use a thin brush. You want to use slightly thinner paint so that it comes off the brush well. If you try to use thicker paint on a thin brush, you're going to have issues. So you do want to thin it just a bit. Let me grab my bottle. And
also, a quick announcement at the end of the stream here, or near the end of the stream. Hashtag free to get into the giveaway today since it was unlocked by all of the gift bombs and the very generous people who resub their Twitch bombs.
Yeah, you guys are rock.
Everyone here is awesome, but thank you to the particularly awesome people who subbed.
All right, so if we want to do some scars on Mr. Dragon, we want to do some slash marks coming from various directions. You can if you want to make the scar look ragged, you can kind of make it a little bit thicker and have it trail off a little bit, or have it thicken at points like that. That looks like a really ragged scar. And then I can, do a line of those. So it looks like it was 3 claws maybe that came and did it. It's like that. in which case, you know, this is the snaggy ends. I can also just do, I like to do just random little scrapes here and there. So really thin slashes. And if you don't know how to draw a straight line, you know, most of us don't, and even I can't really, do it fast, just like I did it with that scrape. So like you do it fast, 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 there you go. So if you do it fast, it's going to be mostly straight, and then you can, now that you have the line, you can go in and trace over it. So like that. And then crisscrossing scars are always awesome. Fast.
Yeah, but jagged scars
Fast.
are also cool too, right?
Yeah, that's why I did a jagged one over there. See? Or I can do a
yeah, there
like
we go.
that, you know. And then I usually, if you do this, you probably want to make a particular part of it thicker than another part, because usually a jagged scar is going to be an entry point and then a rip, a snag, and then a pull. So you have to think about how dragon claws would work when they're fighting. There we go. So then we're getting there. We're getting some of our stuff going on here. I may want to do some modeling and wet blended. I did some patches of random kind of blotchiness on this wing to make it less clean and more dirty. So I'll probably do that after I set up a bunch of scars. Why don't we do, let's see, this is a ragged edge, so why don't we do a little bit of a ragged edge down here and there. That's good. You want to change the directions of your scars. You want to really, you know, make some of them thicker than others. Some of the really thick big ones I might do, I might glaze them more with red so they look like they're fresher. Like I did with these guys over here. This scar I meant to be fresher. So maybe it was very recently taken. Let's see here. I'll put a couple more on there. Then I'll glaze some with the red to show you guys. That's again a glaze. Glazing is nice for subtle color variation. There we'll add a nice jaggedy scar for Justin's edification. In fact, we might even like add a couple like that kind of converge a little bit. And then I'm going to come in and kind of stipple to make them thicker at parts. This one must have really hurt. Our dragon was very unhappy when he took this scar. It's two wide claws that then narrowed as the dragon clenched its hand together to rip out a piece of wing or something. Now let's change the direction of the wing, which is one of the ways to keep yourself from doing too many same slashes, same direction slashes.
While you're doing that, Miss Ann, I'm going to go ahead and do the giveaway.
Yay! Make sure you hashtag free if you haven't, guys. Oh, I hear clicking. It's happening. The magic is happening.
Yes, and I now have all 5 of our winners.
Yay! You get paint, guys. Isn't that the best?
Yes.
Merry Christmas.
A special custom and triad.
Yay! A special custom and triad.
Particularly cool. So I'm going to announce the names, and if you won, obviously you can check back on the YouTube video, which should be up shortly. It should have all the names of the winners, that kind of stuff. It'll also have the email that you should email if you don't hear that. So the email that you want to send these to are reaperlive@reapermini.com.
Indeed.
What I will need is your Twitch handle exactly as it appears on the screen. No spaces where there's not spaces, that kind of stuff. I'll need your physical shipping address. And anything extra you want to say, like, I mean, that's cool too. I enjoy reading you guys' emails. Often you will tell me how you got into the hobby, or you'll tell me how much you love the show. We like to hear that. We pass that stuff on. It keeps us going.
We have a brag board.
We do. And I can put some of that stuff on the brag board too. Anyway, so our 5 winners are Terry C. Wilcox, Dilbert Dog 1, CaesarBritannicus, I like that name, Smart Goblin, and Enki 2014.
Yay.
Those are our 5 winners.
Super, guys. Thanks. That's awesome. Let's mix up some clear red mixed with my skin tone and get some color on this. So I made some patchy colors. And sometimes if you're doing something that's kind of subtle, but then you want to pop it with color, the clear brights are a good way to do it. I'm actually going to mix it with a little bit of the bright skin shadow.
Thank you for the gifted sub there, Motor City. Or Ray. Can I call you Ray? I'll call you Ray. I keep wanting to call you Vanquisher now that
MC
you're
Ray.
Vanquisher.
Like,
MC Ray.
MC. Like,
Yeah.
like cool rapper talk.
Master of ceremonies.
Yeah. Going to make some of these slashes that I want to look fresher, glazed with clear red, to really make the color come out more.
I do not need pics of cysts and icky things. That is gross.
Oh, please don't.
Please don't do that.
That would be bad. We have enough medical issues. We don't need more.
That is true. It's okay, Scotch Goblin. It will be on. It'll be on YouTube. So.
Oh, Scotch Goblin missed it?
Yeah,
That's okay. We missed you too.
we did. We usually see you in here, so it's
Yeah.
It's too bad we missed you, buddy.
It's okay. You can catch the next one. We are just actually, I take this opportunity to also say, guys, that of course we are not streaming on Christmas Day and we are not streaming on New Year's Day. Those are actually paid holidays off for Reaper. So Justin and I will be home opening presents or recovering from drinking, respectively.
I actually will be
Not necessarily in that order.
I will be on a road trip the day after Christmas. Actually, the
Oh.
night of Christmas. So
You are just super busy.
it's this time of year is especially busy. But we're going on a road trip to go skiing, so it'll be
Oh,
fun.
ski. That's right. Ski trip. Don't break a
Yes,
leg.
to New Mexico. It'll be fun.
Oh, Taos?
You know, everyone asks me that, and this is kind of awful. I don't know what mountain we're going to. we're driving.
You let somebody else plan your ski vacation.
Basically, yeah.
Who knows where they're going to end up, guys?
My fiance's brother and sister-in-law, they're the ones who had the idea, and we're just kind of riding along. So. Also, it's getting about that time.
Hey, look, guys, I'm finger painting. I decided to just splotch some paint on there and just go splook, splook.
Yes, please, Silverthorn, send me pictures of your rooster.
Yeah, roosters are cool. Except when they're obnoxious, which is a lot. Yay, I'm just having fun, guys, at this point. I'm just trying to mess up the wing.
I agree with you, D. Clearman. One mountain is basically the same as the other.
Aw, that's not true at all. There are some mountains that are above the rest.
Hey, for what I ski, listen, it doesn't matter what mountain I'm on.
You're going to fall on your face no matter what?
No, I'm not clumsy. I just particularly enjoy the bunny slopes. You know, the very, very casual.
The very easy green level slopes.
Yes, those are
Yeah.
great.
Yes, my boyfriend does double black diamond stuff, so I am the bunny slope person. I haven't skied with him yet, although skiing with him won't be skiing with him because he's going to go do the really heavy slopes and I'm going to be on the bunny hill because I haven't skied in 20 years.
I haven't skied in 15. It's been, yeah.
Oh,
15.
yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I haven't skied since I was in college, so.
And I've had knee surgery since then, so I don't want
Oh,
to,
yeah, you don't want to hurt yourself.
I'm
Big
going
time.
very casual with this.
I need to make my splotches a little bit more differentiated. And some of them need to be bigger. I just want to suggest old battles, scarring, maybe breath weapons being used, all sorts of crazy that dragons fighting would have. There we go. So yeah, just started on that, and then I'll be using some glazes, and I'll probably, you know, make some of these lines very narrow. And if you do a line that's too thick and you want to narrow it, just take your pure black and kind of thin it down. You can paint right over the edge to make it skinnier. And since you're doing a thin line of pure black, it probably won't even be visible, even if it's a wet blended surface. So there you go. So yeah, I'm going to probably glaze over this. I'll probably glaze with some black to take down some of these old scar blotchy areas and irregular them a bit more. Then think about like making sure I've matched my colors. They're getting closer. I think I did use a little bit of bright skin shadow at the edge of the wing on one area here, just to suggest skin tones. So I may do that. But in other words, we're at least got mostly done with the other side of the wing. I just need to fine tune it. All right.
All right, Miss Ann.
I think we're done, guys.
I think so
Yay,
too.
there I am. So, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you had fun. It was very good to see you all. I missed you. Even when I was on vacation, I missed you. I missed painting and I missed doing this stuff. So, So, yay.
It's
Thanks
very,
for wrangling the internet hamsters. See,
Yes.
now it's an urban legend.
Thank
All
you very
right,
much,
so
Coffee.
yeah, so we'll be back next week, and I'll be doing the final touches and probably gluing Mr. Dragon together. Fingers crossed.
And we got a raid set up. It's
We got a
Miss-
raid set up. What
yeah,
are we rating?
Miss Giggling Geekette. She's awesome. She's great.
Giggling Geekette.
Great music and everything.
She has a
so.
great name.
Yes, she does.
Are you ready to raid, guys?
All right, guys. We will
Countdown?
see you tomorrow morning for Proctor, and thank you, Anne.
Yeah,
again.
remember,
You're
Michael
awesome.
Proctor tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Time.
All right,
This
guys.
is Anne. Have
Signing
fun.
off.
Signing off.
Bye, guys.